I just voluntarily decided to contract my bicep to flex my elbow, and that's a voluntary muscle. So you would hear voluntary and involuntary muscles. So voluntary muscles are the muscles of the skeletal system, also called skeletal muscles. So they're all the obvious muscles that we know about, the biceps, the triceps, the pecs, all these muscles that pull bones towards each other to move joints, whether it be flexion and extension. So a voluntary muscle is that you have voluntary control over it, which means you decide to contract it by the message coming from the central nervous system, which is your brain and your spinal cord, and the messages go out through your peripheral nervous system via the motor nerves. They hit the motor end plate and activate a chemical response in the muscles to cause a muscle contraction that causes the actin filaments to slide over the myosin filaments via the cross bridges, as you know from some fundamental anatomy. So that's what we call voluntary muscles. Now we also have in the body involuntary muscles, so muscles that contract without our conscious control or even awareness. So these muscles are involuntary, means they contract without us having to decide to contract them, because they're always self-contracting. These muscles are muscles that make up the muscles of we call smooth muscle, which is the muscles of the digestive system. Means I don't think I've got to contract my digestive system to push the food that I ate through my digestive system. No, it does it while you're sleeping, it does it while you're thinking about it or not thinking about it, it doesn't matter, it's going to contract anyway. Also the muscles that make up the inner lining of your blood vessels, such as your arteries, because they self-contract to help milk blood through the vascular system or the cardiovascular system to get blood to the working muscles. So we don't constantly think I need to contract my aorta or any of my femoral artery. I don't think about that, it does it by itself without me consciously thinking about it. Also, smooth muscle makes up the muscles of the organs as well. So our organs all function, they have to contract. So they're smooth muscles, so they're involuntary muscles. Another type of involuntary muscle is the muscle of your heart, what we call cardiac muscle. So I don't think about thinking about contracting my heart, because it keeps contracting when I'm asleep. It keeps contracting and it just obviously reacts to hormonal changes in my body. So it also is involuntary and self-contracting. So essentially you have voluntary muscles, which are the muscles of the skeletal system, or what we also call striated muscle by the appearance, while they look underneath a microscope. So that's the obvious muscles that we think about. Then you have involuntary muscles, which are made up of a smooth muscle of the vessels, the digestive system, as well as organs, and also your cardiac muscle is involuntary, which is the muscles of the heart, and that would be no cow poo.